Let's shift focus to Sesa Sterlite. Tom Albanese, the CEO of Sesa Sterlite, now joins us. Good afternoon and thanks so much for joining in. Copper treating charges as well as refining charges have come in at about 22 cents per pound. Are you optimistic there that the TCRC will move towards that 25 cents per pound? And also if you could give us an update on the proposed capacity expansion.
Yes, I think we've been quite pleased with our copper smelting business at Tuticorin this year. We've had almost a perfect storm combination where, subsequent to a planned outage earlier in the year where we did some necessary maintenance, we came out of it with some of the highest productivity levels, not only for the Tuticorin smelter, but also as benchmarked through the global sector for that type of smelter. So, it's been running at full capacity, exceptional performance at a time, as you say, with strong TCRCs, and also the byproduct pricing that we're getting for sulfuric acid has been higher than we've seen for the past couple of years. So it's been a particularly profitable business for us in this environment. And what we're seeing here, and to some extent, the new concentrates that are coming in the market that are keeping copper prices down have also had the effect of raising TCRCs because we have more concentrates in the market than globally there's smelting capacity. So Tuticorin's at the right place at the right time.
You spoke about your copper capacity, so can we understand now that you will be going ahead with hiking your copper capacity in the near future?
We certainly would like to be in a position to expand our capacity, and in this market with the very strong global competitive position of the Tuticorin business, we would like to be doubling that business. I think we have the global markets available. We have as I said before, we're well positioned. And by the way, this puts more copper into the Indian market, so it's very consistent with the Make in India theme. So from our perspective, it would add jobs, it would add industry in a part of India that needs the industry, needs the jobs, and certainly we're working with the government, state government, and I'd hope to be able to be in a position at some point in time when we have all the requisite approvals so we can expand that facility.
So your aluminum business has delivered a good performance this time around, but we just need a little bit of clarity with respect to your 1.25 MTPA Jharsuguda aluminum smelter. For power, were you able to apply to the Odisha government to convert from IPP to CPP, and also are imports now being considered for your bauxite usage?
Yes, I think in the aluminum business where we've seen, I think, stronger LME markets than compared to a year ago, and certainly nice, attractive physical premiums for the metal. We are incentivized to get as much production as we can, and we've had a quite conscious strategy over the past year where rather than trying to solve all the supply chain and all the power issues at one go, we've been looking for progressive solutions to bring in a few pot lines at a time, look for individual power blocks that are available, certainly our own capacity. And what you've seen both at Jharsuguda and you've also seen that at Balco is that as we have the power available, we will look for solutions. They might be incremental solutions to bring more capacity on. And my objective is each quarter that you see more and more capacity coming in. And we've been successful so far. It's slow, but it's actually steady progress, and certainly better progress than we've had over the past couple of years. In Jharsuguda, we have been able to bring in more than 50 pots, as we said we would, and we are continuing to creep up the overall capacity. And as we look forward, we recognize that we have quite a bit of our own power generating capacity, and we're looking at solutions which would involve probably using some of that power generating capacity, which is now set for IPP purposes, for the purpose of our own CPP power generation. And again, we'll look at that on a unit by unit basis because we do have to recognize that we have coal linkage allocations, but they're different on a unit by unit basis. So we'll be looking at optimizing that, and we'd hope to be in a position over the next few months where we can be seeing a ramp up of capacity. And I'd certainly like to see a material increase in the overall capacity of Jharsuguda in the next fiscal year. Now, with respect to bauxite, we are working with the government. We've had successful public hearings last year for the expansion of Langica. We're now running Langica at almost the full rate, full allowed capacity of 1 million tons per year. But the plant itself, is capable of running at close to 2 million tons per year with environmental approvals, even before we look at expanding it beyond that. So we would like to be in a position to get those approvals so we can ramp those up. We're now in a position where we're sourcing as much bauxite and other feedstocks as we can from Orissa and from Chhattisgarh and around India. And then to the extent we can't find it there, we're looking to Australia, we're looking to West Africa to replace the balance. And now I don't think that's a long-term optimal solution because, again, sea freight's more expensive. It's certainly not good for Indian economy for us to be importing bauxite when we have bauxite right in our regional area. So we are looking for local bauxite solutions. We've received the approvals to develop some smaller laterite leases, and we hope to see those in production over the next fiscal year. And they'll help supplement the overall production, but we would also like to see progress on the bauxite itself. And I think in particular with the recent approved mining ordinances on the MMDR, that'll put us in a position hopefully to see competitive auctions taking place. And we would like to see with those competitive auctions some streamlined processes so we can be procuring bauxite leases in a competitive, transparent basis, and certainly aligned with our commitment for best practice environmental standards and the commitment of those communities, the alignment of those communities with development in those cases where we do see resources.
Okay, so then have you requested the Odisha government to convert your power plant from IPP to CPP?
We are certainly in regular updated discussions with the Orissa government, and we do have, we're working with them. I think it is a good collaborative situation. It's a win-win between what we want to do and what the Orissa government wants to do in terms of seeing job increases. And over the next couple months, I think it's a matter of notifying the government of our intent, and we'll be proceeding in a way which is consistent with the interests of the government.
Okay, moving on then, your international zinc delivered a steady performance, but your Ishin mine will be shut down in FY16. So will that hamper your production volumes? Likewise, we understand a lot of the big international zinc mines could be, shut down. So would that be a good thing for global zinc prices as well as for Hindustan Zinc?
Yeah, that's a good point because, over the past few months we've heard about lowering oil prices and lowering iron ore prices and lowering copper prices. But, it should also be appreciated that other commodities, we've talked about aluminum, but particularly zinc, where you have large zinc mines that are scheduled to be exhausted, particularly Century, which is the largest zinc mine in the world, but also our own Lachine mine in Ireland, which is scheduled to be exhausted sometime later this calendar year. And with that will come an expected deficit in supply, and we expect to see tightening of markets. We've already seen an anticipation of that with stronger zinc prices, which has certainly helped our Hindustan Zinc business and helped our zinc international businesses. Now, what we're doing in this environment is not just standing still. As we've talked about it, Hindustan Zinc has been working to both expand its overall production and convert to underground. And just 2 weeks ago, the Hindustan Zinc board approved the additional expansion of the open pit to give us more open pit life in this environment. And second, within Zinc International, we're looking at opportunities to bring a new mine into production in South Africa at Hamsburg, which is near our Black Mountain operation, and that will be leveraging off of our existing zinc refining facilities in southern Namibia. So we're looking at a complex of zinc mining and smelting in that general area of the Northern Cape and southern Namibia, which I think is going to be good certainly for our continued presence and growing presence in the zinc market, but I also think it's very good for those regional economies. It's a very rural area with jobs are scarce, and so it's certainly been welcomed by both the South African and the Namibian governments.
Mr. Albanese, I want to focus a bit on the restart of iron ore production in Goa. Will the export duty on iron ore hit profitability? And the second part to my question is, when can we see iron ore production restarting in Karnataka?
Well, I think first of all, starting at Karnataka, because we would be expecting production to be started sooner there than in Goa. We'd hope to see in the early part of February, maybe as early as the next week or two, that we can begin resuming production based upon getting the requisite lease approvals from the state of Karnataka. And we would like to be in a position where we can be mining as many tons as we can, but it's probably going to be lower than the 2.3 million ton cap that we had in those mines at Karnataka. Now, in Goa, I think we've seen good progress by the state in terms of the lease approvals and the lease extensions from the Supreme Court ruling of last year.